All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy September 13th. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are feeling good. I'm coming to you live, full of energy, full of gratitude, as always. And I want to share some of this sentiment with you. So just got back from Arizona. Now, this was a very quick trip. It was literally less than 24 hours. And I brought my fiance with me. And here's why. When we're talking about launching this program and our partnership with Raquel and I felt that it was important that I bring my lady to this meeting. And so she took the day off and she's like, really, you really want me there? I said, you got to be there. And so she was there not only to hear what the plans were about the business and where we're going and what we were doing and like think tanking, but like we spent some time, literally 3 hours, talking about our future and what that looks like for us and for our family. And for me to take copious amounts of notes and then redeliver it back to my fiance and be like, cool, are we on the same page? Like, it just made sense for her to be there because all of us as business women and businessmen are talking about our business and we're creating. But I think that it's really, really important that when you're doing your VTO for your business, when you're thinking about your life 10 years from now, I think that's important that you're really, really combining your thoughts with your significant others. And if you're already doing that, shout out to you. I could probably learn something to you. But if you're not, make them a part of those conscious conversations about where you guys are heading, making sure that you're in unison, understanding what she wants for our life, making sure that that matches up for what I want and that we're constantly supporting each other. So my word of encouragement for everyone on this call, as you guys are planning and you're thinking, you're doing your business plans, sit down and be like, hey, babe, I just created my business plan for 2024 or for the next 5 years. I want to share it with you. And I want to ask you what your plans were. Because through that one day yesterday, we're already tight. It brought us even closer. And there was moments where we looked at each other and we had some emotional times. And then even on the way home, there was just some times that put some things in a perspective. So before we get into the market, before we talk about things today, I'm going to go to somebody and have you take us out on the field. And that person's going to be George. George, you're in your new environment. You're in your new zone. I'm going to hear from you, big dog. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. I know you had your wisdom teeth pulled out, but let's hear from you. Bring us out on the field first and foremost, and then we're going to get right into the conversation for today.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Elias. I'm not going to lie, you guys, lately I've been in a little bit of a rut. However, lately I've been telling myself, just reframing my mindset and looking at myself in the mirror and reminding myself, like, you can do this. I mean, one of the biggest things that I heard not too long ago was the person that you talk to the most every day is yourself. So when you're in the car telling yourself, you know what, I can't do this, or I'm a piece of shit, what I started doing was I started looking at myself, even if I look like a damn fool, I'm like, you know what? I fucking got this. I got this, and I'm the baddest prospector. I'm a closer. I'm a top agent. So remember, you guys, we all go through a little bit of doubt. Even some of the people that you think are flawless, they're probably more scared shitless than you. So just go after it. Be the best version of yourself. And whenever you feel like you're doubting yourself, just talk to yourself out loud and remind yourself that you're the baddest bitch alive and the best top agent. So I hope you guys have a great day and happy Wednesday.
You know what? I love that. All right, guys, thanks for coming to group coaching. That was it. Thank you for the sentiment. But I'll tell you what, let's just be real for a second and let's be, brutally honest with each other. How many people have ever had any fear, doubt, trepidation in this business? Right? It creeps in. It happens. And I'll be real with you guys. It's happened to me. There's things that I'm fearful of in this business. But you have to mitigate that. You have to trump that by always taking action, always having those conversations and doing a reset, like George said. He had a reset with himself, and I think that's really, really important. So good stuff, George. I absolutely love the way that you started this conversation. I have a question for everybody, and I want you guys to really think about this. And if you don't have the answer today, that's fine. But we're all at different ages, and this is something that we did yesterday. It was a really profound exercise for me. So how many people on this call right now have parents that still financially struggle? Please raise your hand, and I'll raise both of my hands if your parents still financially struggle. And if they don't, then shout out to you. And if your parents are no longer with us, my heart goes out to you. But I have parents that still financially struggle. Why? I believe that some of our parents were never taught about money, how to look towards the future, how to invest, how to save. A lot of our parents had mattress money. Shit, my mom still has mattress money. My mom just got back from Hawaii and she has all this money that she saved up from tips and that she just keeps. She doesn't put in the bank, or whatever, conspiracy theories, all these things. But anyways, there's still a level of like are you going to take care of me, mijo, when I get a little bit older? And by all means, I want to take care of my mom, and I want to make sure that I have the financial means to do so. But I want you guys to ask yourself this. We all have parents. Some of our parents still struggle financially. Some of our parents struggles in their 60s and in their 70s. And that is not the life that I want for myself. When I'm 65 years old, that is not the life that I want for me. I don't want to consider not having things because we won't be able to pay for our lifestyle, or where am I going to go, or who's going to take care of my health, or who's going to pay for my health costs. Like, I don't want to worry about that. So I want to ask you guys, from now until 10 years from now, let's go 10 years out, right? That means for me, I'll be 53 years old. I don't know how much more energy I have to do the things that I do. And I will not be grinding like I am now, right? I will not. Now it's grind season for me to have a life of abundance down the road. But I want you to ask yourself this. Have some clarity around this answer. In 10 years from now, what type of income are you going to need annually to support you, your family, your loved ones, your moms, your dad, your aunties, your uncles? What does that look like? And if you are 10 years from now thinking about retirement, then what does that actually look like? If you're thinking 10 years down the road, factoring in inflation, what type of income do you need to have the lifestyle that you want? When you retire, how much money do you need? I talked to a family the other day. They retired, you know how much they had? $250,000. Realistically, $250,000, if you're 65 years old, that money is not going to last you that long. That money is not going to last you that long. So I want you guys to cast 10 years. And if you want to go farther, go farther. But 10 years, what does that annual income look like for you? What does that look like? And are you factoring in inflation? And how are you going to leverage your talents, your abilities, and make sure you're leveraging your assets, right? Some of you are homeowners now. What does that portfolio of assets look like 10 years from now? Based on who you are, your drive, your value, the education that you have to give to this world, how are you going to be able to monetize that in the coming years? When you think about that, if real estate is your only source of income, all right, cool. Can I put some predictability around that? Meaning that based on all the things that I track, this is why tracking is so important. Based on all the things that I'm doing in my business, I know when Joanne makes X amount of calls, based on every single metric that I've run, I'm guaranteed to get one appointment at least. And based on the last 9 appointments that I've gone on, I've wrote 7 offers. And out of those 7 offers, I've gotten 2 offers accepted. Now, if I track accordingly, now I have a business that is predictable, right? Because when you run an unpredictable business, what happens is you have stress. And when you have stress, what happens is it fucks with your health, it fucks with your mind, and it creates tension in your household, right? When you don't know when your next paycheck is coming, and when the valleys are so vast and the hills are so wide, and then, oh my God, I have a vast valley, and now I'm trekking through to get back to that summit. That right there, the unpredictability in your business is really, really scary. So here's what I want you guys to do. Over the course of the next couple months, next couple weeks, next couple days, is I want you to evaluate, and I want you to try, and I want you to look at your business and say, how can I ensure a little bit more predictability in my business? How can I do that? Am I tracking my conversion numbers? Am I tracking how many offers I'm writing? Am I tracking how many homes that I'm seeing? And really look at this and be like, wow, okay, I think I just need to make some more calls, or I'm not asking for a buyer's appointment, or I'm not writing enough offers, or whatever the factor is. But you should be looking at your business and say, you know what, based on my analytics, I'm able to have a more predictable business. Because what we need to do is we need to eliminate that stress. We shouldn't have these, right? We should have a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, but it's very rhythmic. It's very rhythmic throughout the year. Seasons will change, things come up. So back to the initial question, 10 years from now, what does your annual income look like? Who have you impacted? What are you doing? How have you diversified your talents? When I hear you guys speak on this call, when I hear an Ophelia, when I hear a Bybeck, when I hear a Jess Bling, when I hear Alona speak on the call, when I hear Vernon call, or Chris speak, and when I hear Anaya speak, you got to think about all of the talents that you guys have to be able to diversify. Can I run a course on this? Can I run a free course? Can I later on have somebody pay for that course? Can I give a blueprint? Can I give a handbook of all the things that you need to do to get an offer accepted? Can I give you a playbook on how to crush your first year in real estate? And I give that to you for free. And then you say, oh my God, what brokerage are you with? Oh, I'm with EXP. Well, yeah, I'd love to have you join our organization. You have me, and plus you have this amazing team. You have this amazing thing called Fast Forward Movement, right? Can you guys start to build because you diversified your efforts? I want you to think about this, and I want you to unpack it. You guys, yesterday, I did the same exercise. I said, how can I diversify my talents? Not only in the coaching space, not only as the director of sales, but what are the things can I do to make sure that our family is set 10, 15 years down the road? Because my mom already told me that she wants to retire, and she wants to live with us, and she wants to live here in River Islands. So I have to think about this. Am I able to diversify and monetize my talents now in order to give me more income down the road and have more predictability in my business? This is what I want for everyone on this call. Create more predictability to where that fear of the unknown is not prevalent any longer. Because how many of you guys have fear right now in the business? Right? What if, and please be honest, what if you can eliminate the fear of where your next commission check is going to come? Or if you don't have a commission check, you have something else that you're tapping into that's still giving you money, but it's all related to the realm of real estate, right? So I want you guys to think wide and think like diversification. Now, obviously keep the main thing, but I want you guys to think, how can I diversify my talents over the next 10 years to monetize the things that, look at Joe Ellen. If Joe Ellen said, you know what, I am going to allow you to come to a one-day course on how to set up your next door. And if you want that playbook, I'm charging $97 and you have that. And for a subscription model, you can do X, Y, and Z. I promise you, there is people in this world right now that would buy that. They would buy that. And she stacks and she stacks and she stacks. So I just want you to think about all the things that you guys are doing, the knowledge, the people that you've helped, the strategies, how you write offers, the competitiveness that you've had, that have displayed, all these things. You guys can really look and be like, man, can I monetize this? Can I give away a bunch of free shit, bring people into my ecosystem, get a bunch of emails, and then do an offering down the road that I could charge money for? I promise you guys, I promise you, if you did it and you did it effectively, and if you brained up, you researched, you did the homework, this can totally work for you. So that's my thoughts. That's my sentiment. I don't know about you guys, but when 10 years from now, 15 years now, 20 years from now, I need to have millions in my bank account. I just need to have millions in my bank account. And I'm not saying this to brag or to boast. I'm just saying, like, I want to be able to travel the world. I don't want to sit at 65 years old stressing. Who's going to take care of me? Who's going to handle my medical? I don't want that stress. So I'm thinking about everything 10 years down the road. And if I can do anything for you today, it is to have you guys just close your eyes, and not on this call. We don't have to be weird and hold hands and kumbaya, but we'll do that on another call. But I want you to look, and I want you to look so far down the road. And I think that that's where my parents never had that conversation with me. They never said, Elias, let's talk about your life 10 years from now. Let's talk about your life 15 years from now. Where do you see it going? That's what I want for you guys. So I want to get some thoughts and insights and dialogue on this conversation. Anybody want to dive in based on what they're thinking, what they're feeling based on this conversation? And if you don't, I'll probably just call on a couple people. But before I call on a couple people, let's just get some hands up. Give me 5 hands, get involved in this conversation. Let's go Blessing, and then we'll go to Ophelia, and you guys throw your hands up. Let's get involved in this conversation. Ooh, I love this. Look at this, a whole row. No, a half a row now. Okay, cool. Let's go Blessing.
So I love creating visions and like really future casting and looking at it. One of the things that, and I don't mean to like shift the conversation or be like throw some doubt on it, but more so guidance. What if 10 years is you've got such a big vision that I can't even see like how to get there. I don't know how to put everything I want to do into a plan where right now I don't get overwhelmed and kind of freeze up. Like, what do you do when your vision scares you? It's kind of where the question I'm asking goes.
And you know what? And I appreciate the sentiment. Your vision should scare you. It should scare you. So what I did is I'll give you a quick example, and I'll just pull this up right now. That way I'm being completely transparent with everybody on this call. And all right, so I'm going to share something with you. That way you're kind of in alignment with me. Blessing gives you some food for thought and some context. So Raquel Cornett and I, who is my business coach, are going to be launching a coaching program, coaching platform. Well, my goal is to hit at least $2 million in revenue before anything is paid out within the first year. But in the next 10 years, here's what I wrote. All right, here's what I wrote. By 2033, we have successfully earned $100 million in annual profit. We have served over 10,000 users. We have a virtual staff of 100, stateside staff of 50 plus. We have built the most versatile coaching platform in the industry. We have created our own Google for coaching resources, tools, strategies, and action plans. Now, bless you. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like from 10 years from now. But what I know is that every single year, I want to add at least 500 to 1,000 people into this new platform. And if I did that, based on just doing that every single year, that means that we'll hit that target. Now, how do I do that? How do I do that? Well, I do that through speaking engagements, through my newsletter, through communication, through talking, through DMs, through paid advertisements, all those things, right? So all I did is like, I'm going to set this big vision, but what do I need to do just in this next year? I need to do 500 to 1,000 new people into this program, and we'll get into the business plan later. So it should be scary, Blessing. It should be. And do you have the roadmap of how you're going to get there right now? No, but you at least have the framework. The framework is there. And so if you and I want to connect on that, you share with me and I'll give you my blueprint on how to kind of look at this long term. I'll do that. But it should be a vision so big that it scares you. And I don't know exactly if I'm going to be able to do all the things, but I'll tell you what, I really like the way that it feels. I like the way it sounds, and I'm pulled by that. I'm pulled by that. So what I want to encourage you to do is share with me, write it down, share with me what that looks like. And then you and I will sit in a conference room. I'll come to Brentwood, and anyone else wants to get involved in the conversation, let's do that. We'll map this shit out. We'll map it out. We just mapped out a whole program yesterday, and nothing was perfect. But I'll tell you what, I know for the next year what I need to be doing.
Cool.
Right. And if I do that, and then I stack on that, and then I get my affiliate partners, and then I run more paid ads, and based on the ad spend, how many leads am I getting in? How many leads are we converting? Wow, the first stage of it is organic. We're going to do some live sessions. We're going to do a sprint for 3 days, a 72-hour, challenge just to get people into our ecosystem. So I'll share some blueprints with you, but it should scare you, Blessing. It 100% should scare the shit out of you. Maria, hopefully you're doing better. You're feeling better. I called you the other day. I knew you were down. What's up? Your hand's up. Let's hear from you.
Hey, guys. So thank you for that. I am feeling better, still battling whatever it is that I have. So it's interesting that you brought this up today because unfortunately, while I was sick, I swear I was loopy with the fever. And what it also taught me a lot about was, of course, I'm single. My son is grown and out of state. But it gave me an opportunity to really look at my life. I would say I'm older than 90% of everyone on the call, probably everyone on the team. So this year I am approaching my 60th birthday. Like, I can't even imagine that. I'm like, wow. Damn.
Hey, let's give Maria some damn love because she looks good. Maria looks fucking good. All right.
And I have no makeup on today. But anyway, so, I think about that, right? I think about like, damn, I'm going to be 60 in like 3 months. Oh my God, like time is passed me by. However, what I am doing is I had to go back to what exactly is my purpose, my life purpose, my vision. And for me, it is definitely to serve others, but that's also a catch-22. But I go back to you and I've had conversations about what it is that I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to serve. I want to go and travel the world. I want to do missions. That is what gets me up in the morning, is out traveling and serving and in my community and loving on people. But I also need to earn an income to do that. So it took me, this past 14 days, 2 weeks to really just kind of sit with myself And I had to also give myself some freaking grace because, okay, woo,
Love you, Maria.
thank you. You know, in this business, we're very social media driven, right? And so even on my walk today, I'm like, what is it about today that causes people to be stuck, right? And so we look at social media and we're in our present being and we're like, we're not good enough. We won't be good enough. And you start listening to the voice in your head, because this is the deal. The voice in your head is your voice. So you validate, you think that's truth. That is not truth. But it also goes back to, what is your purpose? Like for you, it is to retire your mom, to have your mom, your family, everyone taken care of. That is your truth. That is your purpose. But for me, mine's not that great. I mean, not great. Let me rephrase that. Mine is not yours, but it doesn't mean that mine is discounted. Like for me, I can live off of $50,000 a year, travel the world, and literally work 10 months out of the year. I need to own that. And I need to be okay with that. But instead, I'll look at someone, I'll be like, damn, they making 250,000, they selling houses and blah, 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 blah. But that's their truth. That's not my truth. And so my word of encouragement and my vision for you going forward is this: figure out what your purpose is. Who are you? What do you want to do for you? Because I think once you solidify that, the rest is a bunch of damn noise that you can literally cut out, but you can't block anything that you don't even know. Is that truth? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? The struggle is real. And at 60 years old, my mom never gave me financial advice. She was like, oh, this is how many credit cards I have. Hello. Or I'm going to retire. Her thing was, I'm retiring from the post office, and when I die, you're getting life insurance. I never got that. She died, and away we went. We need to figure out who we are at the end of the day. In spite of real estate, in real estate, whatever, we need to figure out who we are.
That's
and
right.
I don't want anyone to wait until they're 60 and 70 years old and then all of a sudden be like, oh, yeah. No, you don't want to wait that long. You want to do the work now, and you want to figure out who you are and what your purpose is. And if anything doesn't align with that, then it doesn't belong in your eyesight or your vision. And this is the deal. For my vision, for me, is, do I like real estate? Yeah. But to me, honestly, it literally is a means to an end, because I know it can fund my missions. That's it. I want to speak. I want to encourage. That's why I love mentoring. That's why I love pouring into people, because that's my passion. Real estate just happens to be the vehicle for me to do that.
I love it. I love it. And Maria, here's the thing: no matter what you guys do, and you know, obviously Maria has her faith that is driving her, and you know, contributing to the world at a very high level. For me, all I want to do is help people. I want to help tons of people, and I want to leave a legacy in this world. Now, my legacy and the way that I do things is going to be based on human development. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what my legacy will be. But if you don't have a mission and you don't have a cause, then you don't have a compass, right? It's like that compass is driving you towards it. And so when the shit is tough, when you have bad days, it's like, it's all right. This is all in alignment with my cause, my purpose. I'm pulled by this, right? I know where I can see where my life is in 10, 15 years. And so you guys I always want to have the conversation centered around clarity. And so I appreciate that, Maria. Let's go to Ophelio. Ophelio, what was on your mind? I know we talked about finances 10 years from now, parents, things like that. Somebody asked me, so I thought it was a good question. Let's hear from you.
I wanted to say something that really struck a chord when you said, hey, my parents never pulled me aside and asked me a 10-year, what have you. And in my case, you know, it could be possibly some people can relate. Our parents just couldn't, right? You know, and it's not that by choice. In my cases, they had to survive. They had to keep 8 kids alive, no English, 2 jobs. They had to survive. Unfortunately, what we witness is survival. So as of now, I'm 43 years old myself, trying to figure it out, trying to map it out. And I'm thankful so much for your tenacity to continuously say these things and bring this to awareness, because I honestly, it's just, I don't know, the way I'm wired is I'll go in here and I'll come back out. I'm like, oh, that's a good thing. I'll stay here for a second and go right back out. So I have to, I have my Excel spreadsheet. I have everything, my financial planner, because we do need to do that. My parents couldn't do that. And my dad's only course was like, I'm going to buy real estate and I'm going to leave you guys with a house. He couldn't, all 8 of us, but he did his best. And out of that, I'm learning that. But by you saying these things, really enforcing it, like, guys, slow down, take a map, make this alive. Even though my parents couldn't show me, I am now in charge of showing my kids or my nieces or my siblings. And this is so powerful. But one thing that just really struck a chord is that my parents came here and I cannot waste it. They gave me a better life. The way traumatic or whatever, right? All the trauma and bullshit that I had to go through. Because again, we slipped through the cracks. But oh well, I'm here and I cannot take that in vain. So where my dad stopped, that's where my feet began. I'm standing on his shoulders and I want my kids to stand on my shoulders. So I'm just, thank you.
Love it, Ophelia. Yesterday, I was talking to my coach, and she said that last year they gave their kids, a little bit of money so they can invest it. And one chose to put it in crypto, and that didn't do really well. And the other one put it into a high performance stock. And the one that put it in a high performance stock is at 9,000. The person or the kid that had the 1,500 literally has made no money off that 1,500. Also, last year, they had their kids get involved in a flip and gave them tasks to do and projects to do to be a part of that entire flip so they know that process. Also, getting your kids on your credit cards and making sure that they understand how to build that wealth now. Like, we're having those conversations with Larissa, because I'm like, do you even know what you're making? Do you even know your budget? Do you even know those things? Like, we're sitting down and like really mapping this out for her. And so this is part of us making sure that we're changing the tide based on how we're changing that and we're doing that differently for them. And so I appreciate that, Ophelia. Vernon, let's hear from you, big dog. Good to see you. That is your quintessential vest, bro. That is you, man. That is you. You and that vest are one and the same, man. What's up, man? Let's hear from you.
We are hooked at the shoulder, brother. I want to thank everybody for their contributions. Coach, it's good to see your face. Missed you over the past couple of days. Maria, super powerful. And I have two things. One is more so a statement around the comparison concept, and it goes like this. It's not wise to compare yourself to others because you really don't know what's going on inside of that person's life that you're comparing yourself to. Compare yourself to yourself. And if we improve 0.75% today from yesterday, consider that an accomplishment. Okay? And so the second piece in terms of where do I see myself in 2033, Blessing had said something, and I want to mirror what you stated, Coach. If your vision does not scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. If your vision is something, I hear a lot of feedback.
I'll mute myself, but let me just.
I think I'm good now. Yeah. If your vision is something that you can see yourself accomplishing, meaning you can determine the steps, you're not dreaming big enough. It's got to be so big that it just scares the shit out of you, right? And then you're operating in complete trust and faith because man makes the plans, but God determines the outcome. So I won't go too far into that, but 2033 is all about mailbox money for me. I want to check my mailbox, right? And have my checks in the mailbox. So that requires 100 doors. That's my goal, 100 doors in 10 years. And so that's an average of 10 doors a year because this representing the buyer and the seller and hustling for the next transaction. I mean, that's cool because I love the hustle, but that's quickly going to be played out for me. It's going to be about mailbox money, period, the end. And so again, the goal is to accumulate 10 doors a year. And I'm using these first 2 years of being in a team fast environment as my springboard, kind of like my foundation. I've been a hustler my whole life, whether it was for the urban pharmaceutical services or real estate. You dig? Is just I'm a hustler. And so understanding what it's going to take to get to the next level is the hustle, and it's the application of what we learn in these environments to then create a vision for oneself that scares the fuck out of you. If the vision doesn't scare the hell out of you, then you're dreaming too small. So I would just encourage everyone to get on that big vision goal, big boy shit, big girl shit, and actually begin to just walk in faith, have a design, but then also walk in faith, right? Because if you just believe, you will achieve, and it's just as simple as that. So, for me, I'm on stacking doors, bro. Mailbox money. That's what I have written all around here. Mailbox money. So when I'm traveling in Africa or I'm somewhere on the other side of the planet, that mailbox is still going to be full of money. You dig?
That's right.
Let's go.
I love that. And it's and anybody that I talk to, all these masterminds that we're a part of, like that's like, they don't have to run a brokerage, right? They don't have to do that. They do it and they love doing that, but they don't have to. And if they were to leave the brokerage money today, their families are okay. Like the term, the mailbox money, man, that resonates with me because that's all I want. Is to be able to have created a legacy and create a foundation for me, for my family, that I'm still making money no matter what, right? My kids are taken care of. They understand real estate. They have their homes. We have our portfolio. Everyone's happy. Things will change in the market. Shifts will happen, but our family is set, secure, and we are well off for the rest of eternity. And that is wealth that will continue to build. So when I'm long done and gone from this earth, that wealth will continue to grow for my families. That's what I want. That's legacy, right? So good stuff. Ilona, I think I saw a hand up. We'll come back to you. You're blurry right now. Let's go Jess Bling. Then we'll go George. Then we'll go Damian. Jess Bling, what's up? Hey, I love that your car was featured in the video. Like it looked really, really good in the video. So what's up, Jess?
That was so exciting. I've never seen my car from a drone shot. I've had my car in like previous listing videos, but never like the top of it like that. So that was really exciting.
It looked
and
dope.
You're gonna see it again. You're gonna see. Thank you. You're gonna see it again. I'm on my way to my listing today. I'm gonna get dressed there, but my car is gonna be in that one too. So this is really exciting. So something that I've been struggling with, and I know I'm not on my own, based off of a lot of the things that were said by you, Elias, and our fellow team members. I've gravitated more towards spirituality, and this is not to offend anyone. I respect whatever it is that y'all believe in on this call. This is just my journey, and I need y'all to let me go through it. But spirituality is kind of what I gravitated towards. I wasn't really brought up in like a really spiritual household, so sometimes you'll hear me refer to God or the universe. To me, it's the same. But I've been wanting to connect more because I've heard in the past that you believe in abundance or lack, but you can't have both. And to me, I'm on the cusp. I am in that central area where there's some days where I'm like, fuck yeah, abundance is out there. And I do meditation probably 3 to 5 times a week, everything. But I think that whether we call it the devil, limiting beliefs, whatever it is, like still kick in because I'm a human being. And so just this morning, like having the conversation, like, do I take the car? Do I put it in the video? Do I do this? Like stupid shit. Like I know the answer to, but it's the limiting beliefs and kind of catering more towards the mindset of lack. And anyway, I think that if we are trying to think 5 and 10 years in advance, to Blessing's point, yes, it should absolutely scare you. And I think that that's a part of welcoming the abundance and pushing yourself to do the work and having that faith that Vernon was talking about. Because like whether you believe in lack and you allow it to take over you or abundance, it's still a belief. And you get to pick and choose which one you fuel and which one you put energy.
Jess, you accidentally muted yourself.
I don't know how I did that. Shit. Did you hear me say you put emotion into either or?
No.
No?
But I don't think I missed the part.
So you get to pick literally, like my mindset right now is every time I feel myself in a lack mindset, I have to remind myself that it's the same amount of emotion and the same amount of effort. And I get to pick and choose which one I'm going to pour into. And that abundance, even at my weakest moments, even at my like, holy shit, like I have all these transactions, and then I worry, like, oh my God, what's next? What's next? What next? To Maria's point too, right? Like there's so much shit that's available on social media that it's like, go here, go here, go here, go here. And the easiest way I can put it is when we're talking to our clients and they're hella excited, and then they come back to you a week later because they're like, I watched a video on this and this and this and this, and now I don't know what to do. It's the same shit for us and what we decide to pour into our lives. And so just taking it at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to nobody else. Make sure you're pushing yourself though, because we got to be held accountable. But if you are doing the shit, do not compare yourself. And if you have those limiting beliefs, you are a fucking human being, and that is completely normal. But pick and choose what you invest your energy into. And one thing that I do that to get myself out of that lack mindset is I'll say 3 abundantly positive things to myself in that moment, because I'm trying to reprogram all of the trauma that I experienced from being poor as a kid. So I was already going through that when I was packing up my car, and then I get on the call and then I hear you guys talking about that. So it's very evident that I needed to be here and I needed to hear it, and that the universe is speaking to me. And I'm so thankful to have such a supportive team. And Elias, I'm thankful for you, and Joellen and Ophelia, and like just everyone that pours into me. Like I really fuck with y'all and I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. And I love this. You guys, when we started this company, there was 10 of us, right? We came from a company that closed down. To think that now, out of all the people in this beautiful company, there's over 87,000 people in this company, to know that we're number one, it's crazy and it's humbling to me. And here's why. For me, it's like, if we just continue to show up, if I continue to put myself out there, if I continue to work hard, if I continue to support the team, if I continue to find ways to elevate them, great things are going to come. And the great things have come, and we've become number one, and like the notoriety and things that are happening. And so it's just like, I just choose to show up. And a lot of things I didn't know, and a lot of things I still don't know. A lot of things I'm still figuring out. And I've made tons and tons of mistakes, but I just knew, like, as long as I show up, as long as I continue to show up for them, find ways to improve their lives, then what will happen is that we'll win, and we're winning. And like, that's all it is. It was simple for me. I'm like, I'm just going to put my head down. I'm going to work, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to get better, and I'm going to make a ton of mistakes, and I'm going to be okay with that. And I've allowed myself that space and that freedom to be able to grow without any limitations. And I'll tell you what, you guys, like, I'm no different than you. We're all the same human beings. I just made a choice, and I set some standards, and I've shown up every single day. And so, God, I love this story, Jess. I love your sentiment. Let's go Damian, let's go Otis, and then we'll go Ashley.
I just want to share some things that I've been learning from books. Like, Elias knows I read a lot, and it's really been helping out my mental. And so what I'm hearing a lot, like, first of all, you guys are hella human, and I love it. Like, you just got to give yourself some grace. Like Maria said, like, you just have to give yourself grace to be human. But altruism is very important in life. Like, if you're doing things because you genuinely care for people, then the universe, God, whatever you ascribe to, is going to make sure things work out for you. And that's a testimony that I have for sure. But also, I read in another book, for 30 days, write down how you would spend $1 million every single day. And it puts you in an abundance mindset. Like, you have to spend it down to the dollar, but spend $1 million every single day. And you'll start thinking, halfway through those 30 days, you'll start thinking of money in a different manner. Like, you'll really start looking at your goals and your why and your mission a little different when you kind of think that you have that money that you think that you're chasing. I grew up in the lifestyles of the rich and famous era, and so I thought, since I was as old as I could have a thought, that I just needed to have money just because that would make me happy. Now I'm 41 and I've had money, I haven't had money, and the common denominator is me, like how I feel about me. So yes, the money will come and go, and we do need money to do the things that we want to do, but in a way it's kind of secondary to where your mind state is. It's a lot of rich people that are unhappy with themselves.
Totally. And there's a lot of broke people that are just super happy and free.
That are super happy, but it might be less of those. but,
Yeah.
And the last point that I'll leave with you guys, I heard Blessing when she was speaking about making the plan, but you can make them so grand that you're not really sure how to get there. I'm reading a book right now called Inner Glimpse by Idil Ahmed, and this is like the third book of hers that I've read. But you have to think of yourself in the terms that you want to see yourself. Even if you're not there today, still see yourself as that, and you'll start to feel that, and you'll start to become that. Like the law of attraction, manifestation, all that stuff is real. It's not just like some witchcraft or whatever. Like it again, if you have a given faith, it's probably tied into that faith too. Manifesting, praying, believing, faith, all that stuff is real. So you just have to think of it as though it is, and it will be. Like again, we all are human, and you'll get down in yourself and you'll start disbelieving. But if you make that voice in your head louder and larger that you can and that you will and that you are, then you will be. And I it's not that easy. I'm working on it still to this day, but I just want to give y'all what I've been receiving from these books and everything, because we all go through hard shit, but you need something to help you get through it.
God, I love this. I appreciate this because I'm just thinking about this. If you were to write down for 30 days how you'd spend $1 million, think about all the people that would be on that list that you're helping. Like, ooh, today, all right, mom gets a house, auntie gets a house, I'm gonna give money to charity. Like, so you instantly put yourself in a state of gratitude and like giving and giving and giving. And so now you train yourself to really think about all the things that you truly, truly can do. And the money is not the money's just a thing, but it's like, who can I impact and what can I impact as a result of this money? And that makes things more true. And I really like that sentiment. So I appreciate you sharing to me. And let's go to O-Dog, then let's go to Ashley. And then I think I got a couple other hands up, but O-Dog, let's hear from you.
That shit was very powerful from the first speaker to just right now. Like, I wasn't even going to share today, but you know how these calls go. You got to get your input in when you feel like something hits. To Blessing's point, looking 10 years from now is fucking insane, like to even start to think of. But I'll do one better. I'll go 10 years back. I'm 37 now, so 10 years ago, a month from tomorrow, I lost my brother. He was murdered by my uncle's friend and roommate who lived in the house with them. And I didn't even know how I would be able to do the first 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 days. But I'm still fucking here 10 years later, doing really well than I was doing back then. And I just can't believe like all the turmoil that I had to go through in those 10 years. I've also lost 4 of my first cousins. So it's been like one hell of a journey. But you talk about dreaming. I made a post on my Instagram about maybe a week ago, and it said, I'm a dreamer, call me a dreamer. And I think dreams die at the very beginning because people don't really believe them. I dreamed about everything that I'm doing today. I dreamed about over actually 12 years ago, doing celebrity interviews, getting into radio, going around the country doing the stuff. I dreamed about being a dad. I dreamed about being a realtor. I dreamed about all this shit, and I'm doing it today. So I can only imagine the board that I have for myself, and it's to be a media mogul like I know I should be, to be a broker at my own spot, to have beautiful people, a team just like this, and to be the greatest dad ever, watching my son right all the wrongs that I couldn't do in my life and living his dreams and not getting off course because I'm going to be there to guide him. So dream big, follow the dream, and don't ever fucking think it's not impossible, because I'm someone who's done impossible more than a couple of times and I'm happy with it, but it's still not enough. So just keep dreaming.
Oh man, I love that, Otis. I appreciate the sentiment, and my heart is always with you. Let's go, Ashley, and then I don't know, Blessing, if that was a new hand or if that was the hand from before. So Ashley, we'll go to you. But if it is a new hand, Blessing, just leave it up. And then George, is that a new hand or old hand? If it's a new hand, leave it up. Okay, cool. Let's go, Ashley.
Morning. There's so much I want to say, and I was going to say something else. There's so many beautiful people on this call, and everybody is so amazing. I was just thinking what Otis was just saying. 10 years ago, if you go 10 years back, I was sleeping in my car and I was with a very toxic boyfriend who was telling me I couldn't accomplish anything in life. And I had a picture on my wall of this house. And sometimes I was in my car, sometimes I was living with the boyfriend, and the picture on the wall. And he would tell me, "You're never going to become a homeowner. Just take that down. Stop talking like that." And I believe it because I was reading books. I was reading Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I've read it 3 times. I put it in the chat. I really suggest everyone reads that. But I was really believing as if I already had that house. And I bought a starter house. You can go on my Instagram. I just shared it on my stories. You can see the car I was staying in, this house I was living in with the ex-boyfriend, my stepping stone house. And now I live in almost $1 million house in Brentwood that's very similar to that house that I hung on my wall that man told me I was never going to get. And I was able to achieve that. So when people say praying and believing and having faith is real, it's real. That's not, I remember thinking, I wish I saw somebody that did this so that I knew it was real. I'm reading the books, I'm doing the work. I believe it's real, but I wish I saw somebody. Let me tell you, I did it. It's real. I promise it's real. You make the plan, you put the goal out there, you backtrack all the little steps, and then you work your ass off and you do those things. And it's real. 110% it's real. I wanted to share the other story that I think it was Jess was talking about, going back and forth between abundance mind frame and then the lack mind frame, and that little voice of limiting belief systems. I believe, number one, as you get closer to God, more and more, you're going to find those things pulling you back and trying to fight you because they don't want you to get into that purpose that you're meant for. But I think, again, you should read The Power of Now. It teaches you how to silence your thoughts, take breaks in between that thought pattern so that you have more control, and then you can redirect. And then one little last story to end it with. It also reminded me of the story of the 2 wolves. Everybody has those 2 wolves inside of them. You have joy and love and empathy and creativity and all those positive things. And you have the other wolf. We all have it. The jealousy and all of those.
Hey, Ash, cut your camera. Cut your camera.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I back?
Cut your camera.
My camera?
Yeah, cut it. There it goes.
Cut my camera. Okay. All right. Okay. Is it back?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So, story of the 2 wolves. We have 2 wolves inside of us, joy and love and empathy. The others is the jealousy and the comparison and all that other BS stuff. And the grandfather who's telling the grandson, and the grandson says, "Well, what wolf survives?" And he says, "The one that you feed." So the one that you feed inside of you consciously every single day is the one that's going to win. So you have to make conscious decisions every single day to feed that other wolf, and that's the one that's going to win out.
Wow. Yeah, God, I absolutely love this. I love this. Ashley, thank you for your contributions. George, let's go to you, and then we'll come back to Blessing, and then try to get over to you, Ilona, as well as Nicole. Let's go, George.
Yeah, first off, I have to say, damn, I'm glad I got on today's call because this is exactly what I needed to hear to pull me out of my rut. Honestly, it's just truly inspirational, the community that Elias and Kenny have created, and just us all coming from different backgrounds. Because for me, I know I make it look easy and fun on Instagram, but honestly, I didn't come from the background that most people think. Like, my parents were gang affiliated. My dad got deported for shooting someone and paralyzing them for the rest of their lives. And I mean, for me, I don't come from a background where anybody laid out a path. A lot of it's been me trying to figure it out and going to these events and putting myself in these uncomfortable situations. And a lot of the time I do get in my own head and think like, damn, both my mom still lives at home with her parents. Like she struggles so hard financially. My dad still lives with his parents in Mexico and asks me for money. Like sometimes they kind of see me like an ATM card and it gets me in my head. But the way that I see it is I know the life that I want to live, and putting myself in these rooms and hearing all of you and seeing all the trials and tribulations all of you have come through are what is helping me feel like I'm kind of morphing what I want to see, what my future 10 years looks like. Because if I'm being honest, who I was a year ago and who I am now is completely different. So I'm still trying to figure out who I'm going to be in 10 years, because it's completely different of who I thought 10 years would look like from last year. And honestly, just going to these events and seeing people bring their kids and hearing Elias share that Raquel was having her kids like be a part of a flip. It's just so inspirational, because it's like, damn, like I wish my parents did that for me. And seeing like Nicole Penland bring her boys around her, like doing open houses and her events, like that's so inspirational. Because going to these events and seeing these families at events, I'm not gonna lie, get in my own head, in my own feels, and like, fuck, I wish I had that. But it's giving me an idea of what I want to create, what type of family I want to create. And just being around all of you guys is so inspirational. And I know we all get in our heads, but you know, let's just all persevere and lift each other up, because at the end of the day, like we're in this together and we're not ever alone. I know I've thought that the last few weeks, and just popping back up here, I was just like, fuck yeah, man. Like, hell yeah, I'm pumped back up. I was actually going to work from home today, but I'm literally going to throw my ass in the shower after this and get myself to the Brentwood office and see if anyone's there. And if not, I'm like, you know what, at least I'm putting myself in that environment and not squirreling myself and be like, oh, let me do laundry, or let me go do this, or let me finish unpacking. So remember, guys, put yourselves in all these uncomfortable situations, because it sucks at the moment, but you getting yourself there is just the start.
And you guys, you know, first off, I love you, George. I had notes. And I have an icebreaker, and the icebreaker was the question that I asked. I had no intention for this call to go this route, none at all. But when we have 9 hands, 10 hands that get raised, I'm like, that sparks something. And now everyone else, I see people thinking, I see people writing, I see the comments down below. Sometimes you just don't know how it's going to go. So I appreciate your guys' contribution at a very high level. Blessing, let's come back to you. We have 3 minutes, so don't want to rush you, but please hurry. Let's go, Blessing.
I'm so grateful for this room, for this conversation. When I asked the question, I didn't even really have a point that I want. Like, I was scared of my vision. I think I just wanted to say that. But my son walked out and he heard the rest of this conversation, and I just dropped him off at school. And I just want to say thank you for the environment, for everyone that said something, because he looked at me before getting out of the car. It's like, you got this, Mom. But
Wow.
I just realized like what you guys did for him as he's struggling through being a teenager at a new school and in a new place, how much you guys just helped him see that the struggle and everything that I'm fighting for, I'm not the only one. And this is part of life, and everyone just has to keep fucking going. So I'm so grateful. Like, I had to pull over because I cry very easily and I had to take myself off camera, but I can't thank you guys enough for what this environment just did for my kid today. So when you're ever doubting whether to show up or not, like, show up, keep fucking showing up. Dream so big that it does scare you. Like, thank you.
Wow.
Elias, we've got a call later where I'm like, I don't know whether I can do this. Thank you so fucking much for today. Like, I'm so grateful.
Wow. God, thank you guys. Right. I'm just the moderator of thought. Like I'm supposed to lead these calls, and then you never know where it's going to go. So Blessing, like I literally have chills on both of my arms right now. Nicole Penland, we got 1 minute. I'm gonna have you close this out. What was your thoughts, contributions, or insight on the conversation?
I want to say thank you for the shout out, George. Part of the reason why I bring my boys around, one, because I'm a single mom, but also growing up, my dad took me to all his stuff, and I watched and witnessed him build the dream. He's in a position now, he got the mailbox money, you know, he's traveling the world and working his business. And I wanted my kids to see that, but also see it's not easy. So as I'm building it, you witness, you got to put the work in, and this is where you can be. And I want you to see that it's possible, because at the end of the day, that's what my father's built, but I'm also trying to build onto that and build mine as well, so I have something to pass down to them. Oh, you know, emotional. And also, I want to remind everybody that time waits for no one. Like a lot of you know, I was recently diagnosed with cancer. I was thankful that my father had educated me early with life insurance and things like that. So I already had those things in place in case. And, you know, a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't need to worry about that yet, or, you know, I'll do this at this point. But time waits for no one. You got to do it when you have the opportunity, because you never know when it's too late.
Wow. You know what, Nicole, you're an inspiration to me, to them, to your family, to the world. I mean, to know what you're going through and you still show up and you're still leading by example. You guys, I have nothing more to say. I just want to say thank you guys for all of your contributions today. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say it's not just a hashtag. Like, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. There's a reason why this session is called that, because it is my responsibility to help us progress through life, through challenges, through adversity, and always be pulled towards our dreams, our goals, and our vision. That's my responsibility to you guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace.